before we start this, I'll talk about this. So last Friday, I had bought tickets for a baseball game like a couple months ago. So we were going to go to the game. We had lodge seats. They were very nice.
What does that mean? What's a lodge seat?
Oh, John, it's the best thing you've ever had in your life. It's got a table in front of you, and it's got kind of an office chair on wheels, and it like reclines back, and you get your own concession stand.
But how much does that cost?
$30.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
What level are the Clippers? Double A?
The one right under, is it triple A?
Yeah.
Right under majors.
Yeah, that's triple A.
It's triple A. They're triple A.
Okay, so that's good ball too then.
They're the Guardians farm team. So
okay. So they're right next door to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But it's minor league, so the shit's just cheap. I love it. I'm so into baseball now. I'm just, because you can go on Ticketmaster and filter the tickets to best tickets, and the most expensive ticket is $40.
Damn.
So you can sit in like incredible seats, and the food there is not super expensive. Spent less than $100, and Katie had 5 beers at a 5 large beers at a baseball game, and I ate ice cream and dinner and all this stuff. So it just is so good. But that night, I didn't look ahead, but Stone Temple Pilots was playing in town.
Okay.
I really wanted to go to that.
Yeah.
Like, because it's Stone Temple Pilots and Soul Asylum. I feel that obviously I'm the covers guy, right? I don't give a fuck if Scott Weiland is there or not. Like, why would I even care about that?
Who's singing for STP right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it like someone famous, or is it just some random guy? I'm looking it up here.
John, if you're a Stone Temple Pilot, you're definitely going to hire a random guy. You're not going to hire somebody famous. Why would you do that? Then you got to split the money.
Well, that's true. Okay, it is Jeff Gutt.
It's a good name,
and
Jeff Gutt.
He was previously the lead singer for new metal band Dry Cell.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's fucking...
He was also on 2 seasons of the American reality TV series The X Factor.
Perfect.
He first appeared in season 2 when he drew international acclaim for his heartfelt rendition of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, before being eliminated in the following boot camp episode. Gutt competed in season 3 of the X Factor USA, finishing in 2nd place. In 2014, he was dubbed one of the most influential X Factor USA contestants of all time by Fox Weekly.
Yeah, so basically you hire Chester Bennington for 2 years, and he dies, and also probably you got to pay him a good cut. He's got to get cut in.
Chester's getting cut. Oh yeah, Chester's getting a good. He might be getting the most cut.
Yeah.
He's drawing people to come see you.
Yes, and then he dies, and you got to be sitting around thinking, what if we found a guy? Like, what if we found a guy that we don't have to pay a huge cut? That's what I would fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, so this guy seems, and I'll bet you, John, Jeff Gutt is better at doing Stone Temple Pilots than Chester Bennington was. I'm willing to bet. They probably just got a fucking, Jeff Gutt is probably just a guy that does an impression, and he even has kind of a look. So anyway, I really wanted to...
looks like a guy that would be the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots. No doubt about it. He's been auditioning for Stone Temple Pilots since the late 90s.
I mean, his hair...
Apparently Chester left the band before he died as well. Okay.
And his hair is all like... He looks kind of like Scott Weiland.
He does look a little bit. It's a little bit of the Static X. He's not wearing a mask, but he is kind of cosplaying as Scott Weiland, at least in this photo that is on his Wikipedia.
Yeah, he's such a smart hire, and I really wanted to go. And also, I had been listening to Soul Asylum.
Sure.
All fucking week.
Runaway train never coming back.
I like Black Gold.
Wrong way on a one-way track. That video when I was a kid scared me so badly. I had nightmares about that video, like literal nightmares. I was too young to see that shit. All the kids getting fucking kidnapped and whatever. That shit was fucked up.
I will never run away.
Oh my God, dude. Like the scene where I think there's like one scene where these guys are like throwing a kid into the back of a van.
Yeah.
And I just I never got over that. And I know that the video was like helpful and actually like brought kids home and whatever, but like, no, thank you. I hated it.
I was a big, what's it called? Black gold and a white mine. Once you fill up the tank, let's go for a ride. And also there's another one they have. So I was really bummed that I didn't get to go. So I decided, you know what? Maybe I'll listen to a little bit of STP.
Yeah.
And this is where the sense memory came in. I listened to Interstate Love Song.
Sure.
And when I hear that song, I am transported back to wandering around my neighborhood I grew up in the fall. So we're back in school and everything. And I knew my girlfriend was cheating on me, and I walked around and listened to that song. And now I'll never forget. I would when it'd be like, leaving on a southern train, and then he was, you lie, and I'd be like, yeah, you fucking lied. All right, you lie, hide. All right, and just getting real mad. And every time I hear that song, I feel that feeling from that time. For some reason, it made some big impression on me. So Interstate Love Song,
if you're getting cheated on, I feel like that would have an impression on
first
you.
Girlfriend too. Like first real girlfriend.
How did you know that she was cheating on you?
Oh God. It's embarrassing. It's a truly embarrassing story.
Okay, good. That's the type of stories we're into on the P.O.D. cast.
I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and a friend of mine, Michelle, we were good for. She's my friend's girlfriend. We weren't like involved or anything, but she would take me home from work, and she was taking me home from work, and her sister had messaged her and said, "Hey, can you pick up this friend of mine who's a fella and bring him over or whatever?" And she's like, "Sure." So we stop and pick this guy up. This guy's talking about his new girlfriend, and then we ask her name, and it's my girlfriend.
No,
I swear to you. I fucking swear to you, dude. He didn't go to our school. He went to another district.
That is like out of a rom-com, though,
I know.
Dude.
Well, it didn't end well, though.
Well, no, I know, but like that's crazy.
And 2 years later, we kind of got back together.
So you've never seen this guy before, and he's just like a friend of a friend that randomly ends up in a car with you.
Yes. Oh, and he's talking about his girlfriend, just talking and talking and talking. He's like, "Oh, she goes to Groveport." And I'm like, "Oh, who is she?" And then he fucking tells me, I'm like, "What?"
What did you do in that situation?
I mean, what are you gonna do?
No, I know, but did you say like, wait a minute or anything, or you just kind of like sat there and didn't really say it, that it was your girlfriend or whatever?
I don't remember exactly. Like I handled it in a way in which it didn't get super awkward in the car, because I'm so like confrontation. I'm so averse to confrontation. Sure. You know what I mean? We actually talked about this on Guys recently. My daughter, this is a little preview, I guess, for an episode comes out later. It's not a big deal. My daughter, we went to this diner that we go to sometimes and went ordered pancakes, and they came out and they were white, like raw. Like as raw as a pancake could ever be. And none of the three of us would send them back. So we just left, and I bought her another dinner somewhere else. So I don't think I said anything to the guy necessarily. And then he got out of the car, and then me and Michelle were talking. I was like,
and was Michelle driving him to her house?
No, he was a friend of a friend. So she was driving him somewhere. It might have been, I don't remember how it played out. We might have even went to Michelle's house and he was there and we were driving him home from there. But just, he said her full name.
Right. And then you're like, okay, well, there's no mistaking.
But yeah.
So how did you like confront your girlfriend about it?
I called her and said, "That's it, we're done." And she didn't care that much. You know what I mean? Because it was
because she had another boyfriend.
She had a boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
I was trying to.
Yeah. It was like when I quit my job at the cable company, and I thought they were going to be like, "Please stay," and they were like, "Just give me your equipment. Bye."
Right.
Same thing. Exact thing.
You didn't have the worth that you thought you had.
I made it easy for her because I broke up with her. She was probably like, well, shit, now I don't got to stick around anymore. He broke up with me.
Right.
Yeah. And then we got together later on and I bought her some CDs. I bought her One Hot Minute and Jagged Little Pill. That was very short-lived, kind of together, and then we split up again. And just I haven't talked to her since. She's a biker now. Okay,
cool.
So yeah. I think about
great, man.
I think about that day all the fucking time when I hear Interstate Love Song.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear it, I know what the fucking temperature was that day and what road I was walking on. It's just,
I mean, I feel like that is such a maybe it happens now. I mean, we're just two old guys, but it feels like such a like 90s or like early aughts for me coded move where like either you would have like a huge crush on a girl and then you would either get like denied or like you would find out she liked you too, or you'd have something go wrong in your relationship. And it was always like the first thing was like, I gotta listen to some music. It was like either like in my case it was drive around. I didn't usually walk, but it would be like, you know, it was back when gas was cheap enough. You could I'd just tell my parents, like, I'm going for a drive. And I'd just drive for like 45 minutes around my neighborhood, listening to like sad songs and being like, actually, it kind of fits for Stained because I'm sure there was, you know, I'm sure It's Been a While was probably like on the list of just like, all this shit is out of fuck now and I'm with you. And I'd just be like, you know, not crying behind the wheel of my car, but just like, before you confront them, that was like the first is like, before I do anything about this, I'm gonna go listen to music about it.
I need to commune with the new metal stars that I love.
Yeah. Well, what would Chino have to say about this? What would Chino have to say at a time like this?
I think this situation calls for a little bit of Sully Erna. Kind of mad. You know?
Yeah, if you're really mad, it's I Stand Alone for sure, just on repeat. You're just like, yeah, bitch, I stand alone. I don't need you. Get away from me. Stay the fuck away from me.
It's so weird that I let that guy get out of the car without being super threatening. Because I would like, I guess the confrontation didn't happen there had to be some he would have never beat me up. He would have never hit me. He would have never, there wouldn't, if there was violence, it would be me causing the violence.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't know. It's not like he's like, oh. Yeah.
He's just telling us about his new cool girlfriend.
Right.
You know, I thought she was pretty cool at the time, but what are you going to do? You know, I went to her birthday party, chugged a fucking half bottle of Yukon Jack, and the rest was history. We were in love for 6 months or something.
Nice. I like that.
That's the girl. I don't know if I told that on here or on guys, but that's the girl I went to see the movie Natural Born Killers with.
Yes, you talked about this on it was on Guys. Yeah,
we're sitting
on the episode I was on, I think.
Yeah, we sat in the front row and fucking made out.
Yes,
the whole movie. That's such a fucking ugly thing. Like, I think about that now and I'm like, what if somebody did that in a full theater?
And I can remember, like, you grew up in this era too, and maybe again it's probably still happening, but like, you would go to parties and people would just be making out.
You go to another room.
Like, not even. I can remember going over to someone's house to watch a movie, and it was like there was like two couples and then like three other people, and one of the couples just sat there on the couch and made out the entire time.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, what was that? I never did that, but it was just like, what was that? What was that about? You know,
I did because I was drinking and doing drugs.
Sure, yeah.
Because later on in the episode, our challenge, you're going to hear like a little story. So I don't want to bring it up, but it ties to this. So yeah, but I got to get this out of the way. I love this fucking album. Fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay.
Jesus fucking.
Well, we're not even
Christ.
at the album yet.
I know. I
But
need
you
to
just had
look up.
say it.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tell you. I'll tell you the only. So I got cheated on, I think, twice in my life. One was by my high school girlfriend, but then another, and that didn't really matter. But then, like, the other time I got cheated on, it was extremely funny because, well, it wasn't funny. It was pretty.
No, it was
shitty. But so I like broke up with her because so what happened was, it was weird. She started working at this new job. And then she just kept like bringing up this guy like all the time. She'd like talk about this guy. And I was like, this is fucking weird. And she would like, it started, we used to have a plan, like, cause that was back, like I was teaching and she was working and we both lived in the suburbs, but she worked in Vancouver. So she was really busy. So we often didn't see each other during the week. It was usually though, like Friday night was always, it was like a set date night. Like, she would come over to my, because she still lived with her parents at the time, actually. Because I think I was only like 20, I think 25 and she was 23 maybe, and she was still living with her parents. So she would come over to my place. We'd like order a pizza, whatever, and we'd just like hang out. Friday night was always like a chill hangout. And then she started going out after work all the time. So like Friday night now, she wouldn't get home to my place until like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Oh. And I was always like, what the fuck? And then like sometimes she would come to my house and like immediately have a shower, just like weird shit like that.
Oh, that is definitely
not a good sign. So then I was always worried about this guy. I always thought it was fucking strange. So one time she comes back to my place on a Friday at like 10, and then she goes in the shower and she left her phone out and his name popped up on the phone. And I've never gone through girlfriends' phones, but I was just like, there's got to be something going on with this guy, And so then I like opened the texts and she had been deleting most of them. So it was like, there's only like a day worth of texts, but one of the texts was a video of him jacking off.
Whoa. Okay.
So then I was like, so I get out of the shower and I was like, or she gets out of the shower and I was like, what the fuck? Right. And so anyway, she's like saying, oh, we've never hooked up. And I don't know why he sent me that and blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He sent it to you today. So like, what's going on? Anyway, so we break up and then her mom called me. Her mom phoned me like crying and was like, oh, what you guys, you got to find a way to figure this out. Like, she's devastated right now and you guys are such a good couple and you're so good for her. And like, you got to figure this out. And I was like, why are you calling me? Like, you are her mom. Like, this has nothing to do with you. And she was like, I know, but I just like, I know how much she cares about you and she loves you. And I was like, well, did she tell you what she did? And she was like, yeah, I know that it was like inappropriate. And I was like, yeah, she fucked another guy. And then her mom was like, well, I don't know about that. And I can't get in. I don't know. But yeah, like, I just know how sad she is. And I literally went, I saw him. He sent her a video of himself jacking off and I watched it. And then she just like the phone goes silent. And I was like, never call me again.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that. It was really funny because I think that, ultimately she didn't care and it made it easier for her that she obviously wasn't into me.
She was juggling the two of you. So this was just like, he's my new boyfriend. I like him more or whatever.
Yeah. And so she ended up calling me back and kind of half, oh, please. But you could tell it was like, I know I'm supposed to. Like, because I don't think she was trying to hurt me in any way. Obviously wasn't. She was dating another guy.
Yeah.
By the way, that guy was a dork too. It was crazy. I was like, okay, I guess you're gonna go for dorks now, I guess. But I hated the guy. But yeah, I got cheated on a couple times. Both, like all of my girlfriends in high school cheated on me. I just wasn't a confrontational guy, and I was.
They knew they could like get away.
I'll get back with you. I'll get right back with you. Hey, let's talk it out. I'll get back with you. It's fine. I did. But every time there was also a later period where we were back together for 6 weeks or something like that, where I was like, oh, this is great, But yeah, it definitely this kind of music, like being into this kind of music at that time was just, it really did. Like you would listen to something and you would be going through the same feelings as like an adult 40-year-old man going through a divorce.
I know we've talked about that before on the show, but yes, it was definitely like, some 28-year-old guy being, has 2 kids. Him and his wife are getting divorced, and your quote unquote girlfriend of 3 weeks in high school, you found out kissed another guy, and you're like, we're the same. It's the same. And it's finally someone gets me. That was the big thing. It was my parents don't get me. My parents don't understand me, but this guy who is only like 6 years younger than my parents, he gets me. He does get me.
It was very much like divorce. Like you would act like a widower for like
yes. Oh, absolutely.
2 weeks. Like I lost her. Yes. I lost the only woman that ever meant anything to me. And it's like, all you did was like go to her house sometimes and fuck when her parents were out camping. That was like the whole relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, we would talk on the phone. We would like talk on the phone, but like I start thinking about like, what were those conversations? I wish I could hear those conversations now, because like they had to be incredibly boring. Oh, and like just the worst conversations you've ever heard in your life. And in your mind, you're like, no, they were really passionate. And we were like kind of talking. There's no fucking way they were. They were definitely like, so what are you doing now? Oh, I'm watching this on the TV. So what are you doing now? Oh, I decided to go in my room and
dude. I dated a girl in high school for like a year and a half, and we used to we would hang out all day at school. We would go to one or the other's house after school. Then we would go home to our own houses for dinner. And then after dinner, she would phone me and then we would talk. That's how I got so good at Tony Hawk, because I would sit and play Tony Hawk while I was quote unquote on the phone with her.
Yeah. I'm on the phone. Hey.
I think though what it is, Brian, is like, I think you're right in that the conversations were probably sort of boring, but it's different when you're in high school because you have gossip. So it feels like every day is like a new, she would call me and just be like, did you see what Sarah wore? Did you see, I heard from Ryan that Courtney was talking to Dave, or whatever, like. So that is, I think, like looking back, that's the only way it was sustainable. And I didn't give a shit. I was never like a gossip guy, really, like
gossipy Pete,
because I wasn't popular. So to me, it didn't really. She was much more popular than I was. So, and I think because she was a girl, you just get a little bit more of the drama. So it was just like. Yeah, so it was just her telling me all the shit that's going on in school, and you're just like, yeah. And I can also remember, and you probably had this too, when you had a high school girlfriend, you just had to stop liking people if she did also.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that too, like, oh, well, Ryan and Courtney broke up, so you can't talk to Ryan anymore. And it's like, well, Ryan's my best friend. And then she's like, well, Courtney's my best friend. So, and you're like,
we had a lot of big.
I would like to have my dick keep getting sucked, so I guess I won't talk to Ryan anymore. I don't fucking know.
I mean, John, I was, I'll say 65% of the time, like in a war with another guy. So, you're like, I don't gossip. I was like, oh my God, I never stop talking. Like I can think back to a million fucking things, man. There was this guy we went to school with. He's a little more cooler than me.
Sure.
He had like the Reebok pumps and he just had everything going on. Always had a girlfriend, always had a great gold necklace and a pager. He had a pager before anybody. He had a pager in 6th grade.
So he was rich. He was a rich kid.
His dad died and he got money from the insurance.
Right. So everyone in the school was like, this fucking rich kid, and he's meanwhile dealing with like a lot of personal tragedy. Yeah.
And in 6th grade, 12 years old, he got his dick sucked by this girl that we went to school with, who was also in 6th grade, right? Which that's crazy, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
And she told everybody after they stopped talking, which is really quick because they were kind of on different different social levels at school where it was
Yeah.
like this happened during the summer when school came. It was like that never happened. So she went around and told everybody he didn't have any hair on his balls. And you have no idea. I didn't either. But
Yeah,
I
of
would go
course.
around telling everybody, did you hear about Aaron? He doesn't got no hair on his fucking balls. This fucking guy's running around. She said he looked like a shaved poodle, and he beat me up so bad one day. People had to separate us. And I was like, I don't know why he's so fucking mad at me. And it's like, because I told everybody that would listen to me. And that also led, crazy enough, that also led to this obsession between me and my friends in sixth and seventh grade, where like you would reach in your pants and pull out a pube and be like, see, I have pubes. Like we're also proud of them. And you're just like,
oh yeah, I can remember that phase for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I was always talking shit about people, and I was
talking shit too. I guess I meant more like I never had any gossip because I wasn't popular. I was in like the advanced classes and stuff. Like I was a fucking loser. So it was more just like, it's not that I was above gossiping. Of course not. I'm still not.
I mean, yeah, I was in that room. I was just at that school for like, that's all I was there for. Was to gossip and talk shit. And like, it really I'm so much different now because like, I mean, I'll talk shit sometimes with like you guys and stuff like that, but really not about like a lot of, I'm not really a shit talker. In my real life, I'll walk out of the room when that shit starts going on because I'm just like, there's always some weird shit. Like when somebody's talking shit about another person and you know that it's always a weird miscommunication where somebody is misjudging how much another person thinks about them. That's what all of it is when you're an adult. It's just all of it is like,
yeah.
Did you see the way she looked at me when I said that? She's probably been going around talking shit about me because of the way she looked at me. And it's like, she didn't even think about you.
Yeah. It's totally the Mad Men thing of like, I don't think about you at all. Like it's totally that. Like most people don't have time. They have jobs, they have kids, they have other shit going on to be like, oh, what is that? You know, that's what reality TV is for. You watch that and you gossip and you judge the people who are on the TV. And you don't have to worry about doing it in your real life.
But hey, if you're a teenager out there and you're listening to this, keep talking shit.
Keep talking shit. It's the best part about being a teenager.
You quit being a teenager, and then it's all about paying bills and stuff like that. It fucking sucks. You can't talk shit about anybody because you lose all your friends. So just talk shit now and have a good time, you know, in your scene. Even if like, I think you should retire from talking shit when you hit 30. I think.
Right.
But I haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah.